everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
All right, y'all. Good night, y'all.
Good night, Daddy.
And hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? Hello, hello, hello. Hopefully, everyone is having a wonderful night. Hopefully, you all are having a wonderful night. Well, I'm going to have to pay attention more now because. Hello, how are you doing? Hello. The page conservative black, well, the page Carolina Republicans. For everybody on Carolina Republicans, welcome. Welcome, Carolina Republicans. I am the mind of Jamal. I'm the one you see in the videos. And of course, to everyone, Terry Chandler, Shane Terry, Michelle, Farrell, Lionberg, Steve Gardner. Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful night on Unapologetic Conservative Republican. Yvonne Gomez says Trump MAGA. Yes, of course. Now, I notice, all these so-called pro-blacks who are mad at me because what I said about things when it comes to the shooting and violence don't like what I say. I don't care. But you had another shooting in Cleveland. That's right. You had another shooting in Cleveland. Guess what? Young black male again. I guess that type of stuff just don't get any press, huh? It's the guns. It's the guns. He shot up an area called the Warehouse District in Columbus, South Carolina, Cleveland. I think it was Cleveland. In Cleveland. And who the first person they want to blame? The gun. The mayor, young black mayor, GOP the problem. So we're going to talk about that tonight. We also going to talk about that disgrace, Jill Scott. Jill Scott and her rendition of the quote-unquote Star-Spangled Banner. And I'm going to say this right now. People like Jill Scott, and I got this from Anthony Brian Logan. People like Jill Scott. Here's the thing people have to understand about Jill Scott. Jill Scott is one of these black millionaires who made a career of singing. So now she done made her millions, been in a few movies. What's that movie called? Why Did I Get Married? Some movie where it's a Tyler Perry movie. Why Get Married or something like that. So that's the movie she was in. Okay. So, hey, Chris Palin, Bernie Miranda, George Decker, Lisa Pretty, Hammers and Hammers, Marine and Army Mom. Hello over there on Mind of Jamal Live. So, like I said, for those who's like, Jamal, where can we find you? You can go to YouTube. You got Mind of Jamal Live. You got Mind of Jamal Black Southerner. Mind of Jamal Black Southerner. You can do super chats. Thank you, Miss Kimberly Ashcroft. Got a response from the #1 MAGA general. Okay. Rapper's okay. His internet's out. So glad. I wrote him too, Kimberly, Miss Ashcroft. I wrote him too because you had me worried about him. And now, the difference between Mind of Jamal live and Mind of Jamal the Black Southern, the differences are live isn't large enough for me to do super chats. But Black Southerner, you can do super chats. Also, Rumble, you can do super chats on Rumble. Now, to my Rumble rebels, you're going to start seeing a lot of trolls starting coming out now. Because what they want to do, they can't troll me on the other platforms, so they're going to try to come over to Rumble. And hey, if they join Rumble and able to get a platform, let's help them come on over here. Now, the shirt, as you guys know, I thank Mr. Pete Larson for the shirt. Yeah, the shirt is kind of a little small. Look, he's got me a 3X, and this thing is still a little small. But I am thankful for the shirt, because the shirt I had on today would not go well with what I'm doing. But let me tell you like this. This is tonight's theme. This is tonight's theme. Titus 1:11. Whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things they ought not, for filthy, lucrative sake. Now, that goes for a lot of things, especially when it comes to the Democrat Party, and especially when it comes to these black race hustlers. Now, let me go on and say this right now, because you got a lot of people who don't like being told that, you know, about racism, and they don't like to be told the truth about who's the problem. Okay? Now, like I've said before, there are 5 different classes of black folk. There are 5 different classes of black people. Your ignorants. Your ignorants are the ones who's out there tearing up the community, drug dealing family members and themselves drug dealers and gangbangers, having children out of wedlock, living in the projects. And that's all they want to do. They don't want any better. All they believe is what a music video or rap album tell them. And an ignorant can be someone with a college degree. An ignorant always blames someone for their mistakes. A nigga is just like an ignorant, but they have a decent job, or they may have a college degree, same thing. But they actually consider what they do before they do it. In other words, when an ignorant will go bust out a window or tear something up, a nigga only go but so far. He'll do it and he'll tear it up. But, you know, he's trying to, you know, not really get it. So a nigga's ignorant, loud, boisterous, makes no sense, but just a little bit more calm. Then you have the race hustlers. Let me say it again. Then you have the race hustlers. You know who the race hustlers are. These are the ones that sit here. They the ones that got all the black power stuff in their background, and they got all the black fist, and they got all the we black. They got to have something, you know. They always talking about something blackity black, the blackity black, the blackity black. That's all they talk about. You see them, they got the red, black, and green. Everything's about blackness. The 400 years of slavery. The white man has always tried to destroy the black man and give us reparations and money. That's your race hustlers. Yes, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, the race hustlers, but these the ones that are living it every day. These the ones that love taking pictures of black, and everything black folk do, there's an excuse. They blame whites. Just like a ignorant, just like a nigga. But they always blackity black, blackity black. And usually got, kids out of wedlock just like an ignorant, just like a nigga. Then you got black folk. Ordinary black folk. Ordinary black folk are the ones who go to work. They do what they have to do. They work hard. And many of the times they're stuck in areas around niggas, ignorance, and race hustlers. So they really don't speak out a lot because they don't want their stuff destroyed, torn up. They're the ones that you hear when you go to work. You like, oh, he's pretty cool. He's like this. Yeah, America's not perfect, but I ain't going nowhere. He's the one who don't like a lot of foolishness, but he just wants to live his life and live it good without the rigmarole. You won't see him posting the stuff all on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. He's more of work, take care of his family, take care of his responsibility. A black person, a nigga, and an ignorant is totally different. A black person actually takes care of his responsibilities and his things. He's just trapped. Black conservative are ones who say, you know what? There is no better country than America. A black conservative says, yeah, America has made mistakes. What about these other nations, these Africans who sold us? What you want to blame white folk? It was white folk who signed the civil rights. Heck, it was white folk who was dying in the battlefields of Gettysburg, Appomattox, Bennetsville, Generals Grant, General Sherman, General Burnside. Them the ones that was captaining the Monitor. The ones who died fighting on the Cumberland. Black conservatives also will admit, yeah, black folk fought for the Confederacy too. And they want slaves. They want slaves. Blacks who fought for the Confederacy want slaves. They fought for the Confederacy of their own free will because they recognize, hey, the Union really don't care, and they're encroaching on us as Southerners. Then you got some black conservatives to still say, hey, you know what? Does America have its problems? But there's not another nation. A black conservatives love America. You will never hear a black conservative say, America is good, but. You won't hear that. They'll say, America has had its problems, but America's still the greatest nation. Always remember this. Whatever somebody say about before but don't mean nothing. Okay? Whatever somebody say about the but before the but means nothing. Oh, man, let me tell you. Mike Merger over there on Rumble. Mike Merge, you a great person, Mike Merge. You a great, honest, good man, Mike Merge. But you a low-down, dirty scoundrel who always lie and can't nobody trust they women around you because you always trying to take somebody's wife. You get what I'm saying? What somebody say before but means absolutely nothing. And I know Mike Merge about to laugh at me and get at me over there on Rumble. That's for my Rumble Rebels. He know who he is. That's one of the Rumble Rebels. And if you're watching me on Carolina Republican, if you want to be able to really talk and have a good time and enjoy yourself, go on over there to Rumble. You see the Rumble link down there, pinned. Go over there, join Rumble. You be able to become one of the Rumble Rebels. Enjoy yourself. It's always free to join, but it's great. It's freedom of speech. Some of the things you used to could say on your Facebook, you can say it over there on Rumble, except for the cussing, because especially on Sundays. I don't do this cussing and stuff on Sundays. However, people are sick and tired of these black celebrities always crying that America is so bad. You got a room full of 30, 40, 50 black millionaires who all they did was sing, play football or basketball, acted, or posed for magazines, and these people are acting as if America is so horrible. And people are really sick of it. Now, as I said, if you look at my background, yes, their mouths must be stopped. And to my white audience, you have to speak up and say you're not going to continue to go through the crap anymore. A lot of this stuff, hello, Miss Elaine Gertson, a lot of this stuff could be stopped if whites will actually stand up and say, no, you're not going to do this crap anymore. Let me give you a perfect example of racism, black privilege. Oh, and I do have to play the clip from MLK tonight from about black privilege, because you know black race hustlers, there ain't no such thing as black privilege. Okay, there is such thing as black privilege and black supremacy. But this is what is black privilege. And I want everybody to get caught up with me. I want to make sure I give this an example. Make sure I get everybody. Oh, man, Miss Yvette Romet, please pray for Queen Peckerwood. She is in the hospital. Okay, let me get my prayer list together. Hold on. Thank you for the super chat, Miss Yvette. Let me make sure I get this. I also have a prayer at the end of the show. For those who don't know, I do a prayer. But this is the problem when it comes to racism and black privilege. If five white boys jump on a black guy walking in their neighborhood, if there is a black guy walking in a white neighborhood and 5 white young men ages of 13 through 18, 5, jump on him, hit the black boy up, call him every type of nigga, your kind ain't wanted around here, get out, that's going to make the news. That is going to make the news. Everybody's going to want to have the talk. The school those boys going to go to, or going to be investigated. They're going to find out everything about them. The president gonna call him, Obama gonna call him, LeBron James gonna call him. This black boy that gets jumped by 5 white boys is gonna be national news and everybody's gonna be talking about it. But let's say it's a white boy that's jumped by 5 black boys, 13 through 18, and they beating him up and call him a cracker and everything, beat him up real bad. Does that even make the local news? Is that going to be on the local news? You want me to tell you the answer? No, because it happens all the time. Whenever a young white boy goes into a all black neighborhood, he's beat up, robbed, flip-flops taken, shoes are taken. It happens all the time, but nobody reports it on the news. You don't see President Biden saying we need to do something about black supremacy. You don't see no superstars. Matter of fact, white superstars are silent. White superstars are silent. You hear me? When I tell you white superstars are silent. Your white superstars are silent. Tell me why are white superstars and white people so scared to speak out about the wrongness that is done to them by blacks? If the 5 white boys jumped the black boy and they listened to, oh God, I cannot, oh God, I cannot think of his name. Brian, oh God. You can't kiss my country. Oh God, who made that song? Because he's one of the most famous singers now. What is his name? Kiss My Country Behind. What is his name? What is his name? You can kiss my... Blake Shelton. Thank you, the bandit. The bandit, Blake Shelton. Blake Shelton will have to come out and denounce them. Trey Atkins will come out and denounce them. Every country star will come out and denounce them because these white boys beat up a black boy and they happen to listen to country music, so every country star has to come out, has to say they're standing against hatred. But let young black boys beat up a white boy, hurt him, call him every type of racial slur. Not one black superstar will speak up. Not one black superstar will denounce it. Matter of fact, the local news won't even cover it. Won't even cover it. Am I wrong? Toby Keith, yeah, I love, y'all continue to listen to country. I've been listening to a lot of gospel, more gospel. I've been listening to gospel for a while, more crazy. But tell me, will you hear any black rappers, black basketball players? If those young black boys are listening to Little Nas, or they happen to be wearing LeBron James jerseys, do you think you gonna hear them black superstars speak out? Why is that? Because too many whites have allowed this behavior to go on. Too many whites have taught their children, don't say nothing, just get out of there. It ain't worth fighting back. In other words, white folk have allowed the federal government to be turned on them to come after them. So if truth be told, no, the Republican Party and the Democrat Party are not the same. If anyone tells you the Republican Party and the Democrat Party are the same, they are a fool. They are an idiot. They are a moron. The Republican Party and Democrat Party are not the same. Do the Republican Party let us down? Yes. However, out of 10 things we asked the Republican Party for, they give us 7. That's considered a good party. 6.5. Let's say 6.5. All right. We'll say 6.5. Anybody want to say 6.5, 7? The Republican Party give us 7 of the things we want. Now, it may not be the 7 things we really want, but they do try. How many times the Democrats have given you anything you want, Republicans? See, I got to address, Jamal, you all over the place. No, I'm addressing stuff like needs to be addressed. This is my monologue. How many times have you heard people tell you the Republican Party is the same? How many times have you heard that Democrat Republicans are the same? But nobody will actually sit here and say, okay, how many things have the Democrat Party done that you don't like? Oh, everything. Okay, how many things have the Republican Party did that you do like? I don't like Lindsey Graham and his stand on Ukraine. Screw Ukraine. I'm not with Ukraine. I believe Russia on this one because of the crap Ukraine was doing in eastern Ukraine in the Donbass region with the Nazi Azov battalion that was killing eastern Ukrainian Russian speaking. That was going on from 2014 to 2022. And Putin said, you know what, I'm about tired of this. Joe Biden weak, I'm about to go do what I got to do. I disagree with Lindsey Graham on that, but you know what? I can say Lindsey Graham didn't vote to impeach Donald Trump. I can say Lindsey Graham helped get some things passed that Donald Trump wanted to get passed. So yes, out of 10 things, Lindsey Graham has been good on about 5. So he all right. He half and half. He 50%. Name me one Democrat can you say that if you are here, if you're a Republican or even a libertarian, how many things can you say the Democrat Party have given you 5 things you wanted? And oh yeah, by the way, we also do letters at the end of the show. You can write me and I will read your letters. If you do a email, if you look down right here, you will see themindofjamal.com, themindofjamal.com. And what I will do is if you write me, I will read it. If you see this right here,
you've got mail. You've got mail. You've got mail.
That means the show is coming to the end and we're about to go over to Rumble. Because usually it's some things on Rumble that I cannot talk about on YouTube, Facebook, and it'll get me banned, okay? But my question, once again, I want everybody to answer this question, and this will be a video I will do, Lord willing, I live and see it. If 5 white boys jump a young black boy, that means assault him, attack him, beat him up, and they all listen to country. Blake Shelton, Trey Atkins, Daryl Rufus, Toby Keith, all of them are going to come. Hank Williams, not gonna lie, Hank ain't gonna do it. Hank probably won't. But all those country singers are going to come out and going to say they stand against racism. Country music was started by, black this and country. They're going to point out all the black country stars and they're going to speak out against racism. But when you have 5 black boys beating up and jumping on a white boy, what will you hear from the media and local media and mainstream media, national media? What will you hear? You will hear absolutely nothing. Because this happens every day to young white boys who get beat up and jumped by black guys. Why is that? Because the white community have told their children about oppression and slavery, and then some tell you it's not worth fighting back, because if you fight back and you hurt one of them, your life may be ruined. That's called black privilege. That's called black privilege. That's called reverse racism. And some of you conservatives, I'll be honest, y'all weak-kneed. There's no such thing as reverse racism. It's only racism. Shut up. Shut up. I tell people, do not come posting links unless you have my permission. I don't care who you for, what it's for, what you did. Now let's get started, shall we?
If you want to see it again, links, as always, will be in the description. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Oh, say, can you see?
Just so you guys will know, this is a guy, a friend of mine. I have actually met Anthony Brian Logan. This gentleman is Anthony Brian Logan. He is a powerhouse in the conservative movement. If you got YouTube, his name is Anthony Brian Logan. He doesn't, I want to say he's not a secular. I think he may be a little atheist or secularist, but he is a powerful black conservative. He does tell you the black community was better when we served God and we actually put God first. So this is who this is. This is Anthony Brian Logan, because he is the only one that actually carried with her words so you can see what she says.
By the blood in the streets, that this place doesn't smile on you, colored child, whose blood built this land with sweat and bare hands. But you'll die in this place, and your memory.
Where is this video? Where is he at?
Oh, say, does this truth hold any weight? This is not the land of the free.
I did not get rid of that. Of all things, I know I did not get rid of that.
But the home of the slave.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Man, oh, man. Okay. Jill Scott, ladies and gentlemen, that was her at the Essence Fest, which was recently. So I think this is right around Independence Day, July 4th.
And I want to thank ABL for that. I'm looking for a video I used to have, and I tried to clean up. And y'all know when you try to clean up, you forget stuff, because this is ignorant. This is the most ignorant crap you can say. All this crap Jill Scott did was for what reason? She's not relevant anymore. All she did was, why did I get married, or some crap like that. That's what she did. She did a movie with Tyler Perry. And all these so-called black superstars, they are millionaires. That's what they are. They are millionaires. But they are constantly demanding handouts for black folk they themselves can be helping. They don't want to do nothing for the black community, on their own. They always got to get you to pay for it to help them. I cannot believe I lost that video. Oh, man. Of all videos, this is the one. My one from Tommy Sotomayor. That is my video. The video from Tommy Sotomayor is the best video to play back against that. Like I said, I got to maybe in downloads at the bottom. That's where it may be, because I have so much stuff. But these people are constantly, always crying, always complaining about something that they themselves can change. She's a multimillionaire. I don't know how many records she done made, how many times she done sat here and, I mean, millions. And she's up here talking about that America is built by slaves. Well, if that's the case, how come the black community today looks like hell? Name me one black community that's not filled with crime, drugs, gang violence, and everything. I'm trying to find this video, because this video there's just nothing else. When you see this video, it's just, I'm trying to find it. I thought I knew I downloaded it. But see, I got so much junk videos I need to go through and get rid of. I probably deleted the wrong video. I done played it so many times, I'm going to have to go back through and play it. And probably get it from one of my old ones. God, I can't believe I got rid of that video. All videos. Oh, I thought that was it. I thought that was it. See, sometimes I don't even know which way I'm going to go. But this is ridiculous. Jill Scott want to talk about all the blood built on the land and black folk built it. You were a slave when you did that. What have you did since then? Anybody want to answer that question? What have you did since then? What have you did since then? I thought I had that video. God, if I had that video, it will make you cry laughing. Is this it? Oh, this is it. This is it.
Just a little bit. Damn degenerates. Ugh. And on that note, I'll take my black ass on, because these niggas are stupid. Can't believe that they still make niggas like this. I thought they had discontinued these models, but nope. They still here. Peace. Sir, you a grown-ass man. You called me to troll me. Did you get what you want out of this? Did it make you feel better now? There's a difference. I don't bother people I don't like. And this is what you have to deal with niggas. What they built, what they did, what they gained.
You want to live off somebody else's law.
What they built, what they did, what they gained.
You want to live off somebody else's law.
Niggas are the worst people on earth. I do understand why they made them slaves. I think one of the worst things that happened was they stopped making them slaves. If they'd have kept niggas as slaves, we'd have built more shit. We'd have been better people. Whenever black people were under the oppression of white people, they did more. They were more productive people. Name the shit you built since being out of slavery. Name it.
Name it.
Let me explain. You claim you built D.C.
You were enslaved when you did that.
You claim you built the railroads.
You were enslaved when you did that.
Everything you claim you built in America, it's when white people had the whip on your ass. What have you built since? Go on, what have you built since? Nobody wants to talk about the facts. Now all you do is go around and begging white people for shit. All these hoods y'all proud of, white people gave them to you. You didn't build them. What they built, what they did, what they gained.
You wanna live off somebody else's law.
What they built, what they did, what they gained.
You wanna live off somebody else's law.
What they built, what they did, what they gained.
You wanna live off somebody else's law.
What they built, what they did, what they gained.
You wanna live off somebody else's law.
Did black people build Cabrini Green? Nope. Did black people build Capitol Homes? Nope. Did black people build Carver Homes? Nope. Did black people build O-Block? Nope. Did black people build any of these things you're talking about? 63rd, 62nd, 69th? Did you build any of that shit? Nope. Did black people build Compton?
What?
Did black people build Compton?
What?
Did black people build Compton? Nope. Let me explain. Black Wall Street. Come on, bro. Black Wall Street. Your ass ain't built Black Wall Street back now, have you? You got all these black millionaires and all these black millionaires who own clothing companies. You could have been built Black Wall Street back a long time. When you hear all these niggas love to go back to Black Wall Street, that tell you black people are lazy and ain't shit. This person said Black Wall Street. Sir, you remember what Black Wall Street was built under? Jim Crow. I'll let you go. What they built, what they did, what they gained.
You wanna live off somebody else's law.
They built.
What they built, what they did, what they gained.
You wanna live off somebody else's law.
What they built, what they did, what they gained.
You wanna live off somebody else's law.
What they built, what they did, what they gained.
You wanna live off somebody else's law.
What have you built? Give me the Black Wall Street 20 years, in the last 20 years, the last 10 years. Give me that. Y'all niggas can't put together some stores. Because that's all Black Wall Street was, idiot, stores.
That was Tommy Sotomayor. Now, anybody who ever have watched YouTube, Facebook, that is Tommy Sotomayor. If you want to know, he's on Rumble. He can't stay on Facebook or YouTube. Black folk always get together and they targeted him. And they kept targeting him and targeting Tommy to where Tommy's safe on he's safe on Rumble. Tommy is safe on Rumble. That's how he's able, and he does music. But that's Tommy Sotomayor. If you're looking him up, look up Tommy Sotomayor. He's on Rumble. His channel. And he now Tommy cuss a lot. Okay? Tommy is just ain't no joke. So that's Tommy. And Tommy makes good, and a lot of people don't like it. And oh yes, I love it. Now you got all the so-called race hustlers out. And see, now here's what makes it so easy. See, now I can see the race hustlers. So that's what I like about this. I can actually able to go and take care of stuff. Now, yes, there are many black folk who like hard work. There are many black folk who like hard work, Ruben. I am a plumber / HVAC. I get up every morning at 5:45, have to hit the house, leave the house 6:20 to get to work by 7, load my stuff up and work. So yes, but like I said, there are 5 types. There are 5 types. Ignorants, niggas, race hustlers, black folk, and black conservatives. Black conservatives, black folk, and somewhat some race hustlers aren't scared of hard work. Race hustlers, when they use hard work, they want to blame the white man because they working hard. Ignorance ain't gonna work hard. They gonna take breaks. You can't see too many ignorants working in construction. That ain't gonna work. Now that's true. But that right there was Tommy Sotomayor. But that's true. Jill Scott is an absolute disgrace. And if you actually look what Jill Scott said the land where the slaves did this and slaves did that. So then you admit that let me go cut it and go,
I guess the cool thing for the rich,
put it right
privileged
here
celebrities to do in the crowd full of
let's go see. The land of the free, but the home of the slave. The land of the free and the home of the slave. You notice, if you ever ask black people like her one simple question, all you got to ask her is one simple question. One simple question. How many black slave owners was it? How many black slave owners was it? Matter of fact, how many black slave owners was it that was so cruel that white folk had to step in and tell them, you can't do that? William Ellison Jr. of South Carolina, the largest slave owner and breeder. So you do understand that William Ellison Jr., who was a breeder, forced men to sleep with slave women, slave men, and sold their children. See, people don't like to talk about blacks like that. Blacks participated in slavery. And guess who was the best slave catchers? Black. Did you know that many and when it came to certain areas, white slave catchers didn't even want black colored slave catchers anywhere in their area? Not because they were black, it's because they put them out of business. Yeah, slave catchers were black. So when people try to tell you that the police are really former slave catchers, then they're actually telling you that the police basically were all black. The best slave catchers were black, and they were freed men. It was good money. See, when Jill Scott make this crap right here about home of the free, home built by slaves, really, what did you build? What have you built for yourself since then? What have you built for yourselves since then? Nobody asked that. What have you built for yourself since then? But like I said at the beginning of the show, if five white boys assault a black guy, jump on him, beat him up, playing, and they like country music, and they go to Robert E. Lee High School, they will demand that high school be changed. That country singers are going to come out and denounce them. If they got a NASCAR going to come out denounce them. And they all going to come out against hate. But when 5 black boys jump on a white boy, which happens all the time, do rappers come out and denounce those 5 young black boys? No. Do it makes local media or national media? No. Do sports stars come out and denounce black supremacy? No. So I ask you again, who has more privilege? Who has more privilege? Is white supremacy real, or is black supremacy the dominant force today? Ask yourself that right now. And if you tell the truth, you will even admit, yeah, black supremacy. How many of you have kids that you teach your children, that you actually teach your children, you know what? If one of these young black boys say something to you, somebody say, just walk away. It's not even worth it. Remember, we was taught if you're being bullied, you're taught if you're being bullied, you punch the bully out. How many areas are bullies black? How many schools do you go to and the bullies are black? And if you speak out or fight back against the bully, you're blamed with racism. So you tell your child, don't fight back, just go to the teacher. Where do you think they came up with this, just go to the teacher? What you looking for?
I just down here to put some up.
Well, your mommy say you can't take that to bed?
I just decided to put it up.
Come here. Take the bonnet off. You know, you don't come on camera with that bonnet. Come around that way. So what's going on?
Oh, I was putting a toy away. Mommy let me take it up there. I have
Come here.
permission.
Come here, see a look. There you go. I'm gonna ask you put some lip treatment on your lip, okay?
Yes, sir.
Ah. There you go. Go to bed.
Gotta tell Jade's bedtime.
Y'all still up watching TV? All right. Yes, anybody who know me, Carolina Republicans, when my children come through, I will stop for my children. There has been plenty of times, and people will tell you, Carolina Republicans, I have been going off, and I've been really into it, and my children have, right in the middle of it, stopped me dead cold. It has stopped me dead cold. And yes, the girls are the worst. Black girls, when they jump and they beat up on white girls, nobody says a word. Nobody says a word. Angie Sale Lord, thank you for the kindness and generosity to Angie Save Lord. Thank you. Thank you for the kindness and generosity through Cash App. She said, get a cup of coffee on me. Well, you know what? I appreciate that. Oh, okay. That's Angie Sale. Thank you. And Elizabeth Dixie Drink. Thank you, Miss Elizabeth. Thank you for the kindness and generosity you sent to me on Cash App. I thank everyone for the kindness and generosity and donation. Somebody say, get you a cup of coffee on me. Because I'm already woke and hyped right now. I got someone from Kiev, Ukraine, lives in Seattle Heights, Washington, study at Kiev University. No, I don't support Ukraine. No, I don't. Especially the Nazi Azov battalion that thug Zelensky has been doing. Yes. And hello, Miss Barbara Kirkendall. How are you doing? The beautiful Miss Barbara Kirkendall. Hey, big sis. Thank you, Miss Angie Crocker. You know, these people who come over from Ukraine, we're defending our land. Well, you should never been killing the people in the Donbass region. Oh, wow. Jack Boy, thank you for the kindness and generosity. Donation to the page. Jack Boy, thank you through Cash App. I want to thank my boy Anthony Brian Logan for making that video. But for everybody who needs to hear, Martin Luther King warned the black community about becoming black supremacists. MLK told the black community, do not become black supremacists. Black supremacy is worse. It's worse. And he told people, he gave a warning, but people didn't hear him.
Always be sure that as you struggle, your aim is not to defeat or to humiliate the white man, but to win his friendship and understanding. Make it clear to him at every point that you are not interested in rising from a position of disadvantage to one of advantage, thus subverting justice. Make it clear at every point that you are seeking to achieve democracy for everybody, realizing that black supremacy is as dangerous as white supremacy, and that God is not interested merely in the freedom of black men and brown men and yellow men, but that God is interested in the freedom of the whole human race, and the creation of a society where all men will live together as brothers, and all men will respect the dignity and the worth of all human personality. Therefore, you must make it clear that your struggle is a struggle for democracy, for justice, for truth, and for goodness. That the festering sword of segregation debilitates the white man as well as the Negro. Seeking to defeat the system, you are at bottom seeking to save the soul of your nation. Now many of you will struggle against the evil of segregation. There will be many Negroes who will struggle for justice. Many white people of goodwill will join you as allies and struggle with you. I must be honest enough to remind you that if you take a stand for justice and a stand for right, you will have to be prepared for suffering and sacrifice. It will not always be an easy road. Sometimes it will be difficult. At times you will be persecuted and scorned for taking a stand.
Now, let me say this. You clearly heard him talk about black supremacy. You clearly heard MLK say about what he feels about black supremacy. Oh, I want to thank who is this? I want to thank Miss Debbie Jackson. I want to thank Miss Debbie Jackson for her kindness and generosity and donation to the page through Cash App. And then I also want to, of course, thank Mr. Jack Boyd. Thank you for your kindness and generosity and donation to the page through Cash App. Thank you once again, Jack Boyd. Make sure I get these people right. Jack Boyd, Angie, Sarah, Miss Elizabeth, and Miss Debbie Jackson. Thank y'all all for y'all kindness and generosity through Cash App. Make sure I ain't miss nobody's super chats, because super chats, I tell people, they add up. Never let someone tell you MLK never spoke out against racism. He didn't speak out against things. And let me tell you something. This one dude tried to say that what did he say? That MLK said he here to collect this check. And they tried to use that part where MLK said, I'm trying to collect the check, as to say he meant reparations. He was talking about the check of liberty. He literally was talking about the check of liberty. The promises America had made to black folk, and he felt that the black community, that America had not fulfilled its promise to the black community. And that's what he said. That's the only check MLK was talking about. Now, if you really want to talk about some things that's going on, let's talk about this shooting in Cleveland. Let's talk about that, shall we? Anybody want to talk about that shooting in Cleveland? Huh? Anybody want to talk about the shooting in Cleveland where they said, oh yeah, it was a young black male? Anybody want to, talk about that? But nobody will tell you this, once again, is another city with a young black mayor, because the mayor's black in Cleveland. Cleveland. And the first thing he does is blame the GOP. Let me say this right now. These black mayors have been a disaster. These black mayors in major cities have been a disaster. I'm sorry if it hurt your feelings. If you don't want to hear that, Jamal, it's not all black mayors. Yes, it is. Oh, Joyce Decker, I'm going to talk about the scooter shooter too. He was black. The man who was on the scooter was black. But Cleveland is a total shootout. Cleveland, they shooting and shooting and killing each other. But you know what? It's the GOP fault. Excuse me. Black mayor, Philly, bang bang. Black mayor in Baltimore, bang bang. Black mayor in Chicago, bang bang. All of them young black males. So let's not associate putting someone black in office as progress. Durham, North Carolina, black male, female, bang bang. Because these people come into office trying to fix a problem that doesn't exist. White supremacy doesn't exist. White racism doesn't exist. Just because white boys say, I don't like damn niggers, I don't like the damn niggers, that white boy don't have no power to do anything. But you know who do? The thugs and the hoodlums. You know what they do here in Durham? They shut down whole streets. So they can act like DMX Rough Riders and ride up and down the streets. They have actually pointed guns at pedestrians and guns at people driving because they don't want you to interrupt their little motorcycle parade. Riding four-wheelers on the streets. And the police and sheriffs don't do nothing because the sheriff head, Burkhead, and the police chief, Parker, don't want them to do anything. And the district attorney here in Durham, that pathetic piece of trash, Satana Doomberry, won't prosecute. So somebody tell me that come on. I dare you to say there's no black supremacy. It's always an excuse. Here we go.
Everybody ready? Well, good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, we want to acknowledge all the victims of last night's mass shooting that happened here in the Warehouse District. Thank the Lord, no one died from last night's mass shooting, but it was a tragic and sad day nonetheless, and truly shows the massive gun problem we have, not just in Cleveland, not just in Ohio, but across this nation. Secondly, it's so important that we honor the hard work and the amazing response time by police department and EMS as well too. Every weekend we have a large police presence right here in the Warehouse District, and our first responders did a fantastic job to provide aid to all the victims last night as well. Thirdly, I want to also highlight the importance of this fact. Last summer, the Republican-led legislature in Columbus passed Senate Bill 215, and across the state, from Cleveland to Columbus, Cincinnati, we've seen an uptick in shootings across our state. We need Republicans in Columbus to give us mayors more tools to get guns, and our first responders did a fantastic job to provide aid to all the victims last night as well. Thirdly, I want to also highlight the importance of this fact. Last summer,
I'm sorry about the volume, but this is the volume where they recorded it from, so this is not my fault. I got the volume cranked all the way up on the EQ. So yes, I do understand that the volume is a little less, so I want you to get back to it, and I'm gonna play that part. Where it says he's blaming everything. Like I say, young black mayor. We need a black mayor. Yay, black mayor. We striking a blow for white supremacy. We're striking a blow against white supremacy. Right. Right.
The Republican-led legislature in Columbus passed Senate Bill 215.
It's nuts. This isn't bad policy. This is
across the state, from Cleveland to Columbus, Cincinnati, we've seen an uptick in shootings across our state. We need Republicans in Columbus to give us mayors more tools to get guns off our streets.
Liar!
I am sick and tired of getting these calls late at night. I'm sick and tired of hearing from our residents and victims of gun violence and Republicans blaming us as mayors for violent crime. We need their help. We need their help. And it's important that we hold them accountable for passing dangerous gun laws in our state that make it hard for us to keep our communities safe
Liar!
and secure. Now Chief Drum is going to give an update as well. Chief.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. Good afternoon. I'm going to be relatively brief. We have Commander Tucker here as well. He's in charge of the 3rd District, which is where this shooting took place. Again, I'm going to get into some of the particulars, what information we have right now. It's just changing as our investigation continues. So approximately about 2:25 this morning, right here in this location, we had an individual who actually started shooting at a crowd of people. That's what we have right now. It's important to note and understand we have officers assigned here. It's called the warehouse detail. We have officers assigned here at that particular time as patrons were coming out of different nightclubs. We had 2 officers actually and their cars, their marked cars, right at the corner there, West St. Clair and West 6th. Marked cars, officers in uniform, their light barbs, their lights are on. We also had an additional officer just a little bit further north, parked, I believe, just getting out the car, and also a sergeant that was also driving northbound from West St. Clair towards the West Lakeside when this occurred. This particular individual started shooting towards the crowd. As you all know, struck 9 individuals. The officers immediately ran to the gunfire, ran to the victims, and rendered first aid. All the officers rendered first aid to the victims. As I stated, we had 9 total victims, 7 males and 2 females ranging from ages 23 to 38 years old. Again, I stress, we had officers assigned here. This is part of their detail. A very visible presence of officers, but yet this individual decided to use that weapon and shoot individuals, even with our officers here. So it's not a matter of police response. It's not a matter of police visibility because we were here and we will continue to be here. What we have now, of course, the subject is a black male that we know right now. Black male, that's the extent of it. He has had a grill in his mouth, a gold grill. We do have some bleeds. We're here and we will continue to be here. What we have now, of course, the subject is a black male that we know right now. Black male, that's the extent of it. He has had a grill in his mouth, a gold grill. We do have some bleeds.
A black male with a gold grill. So, here go one of those oppressed or underprivileged people who needs affirmative action. The Supreme Court is racist toward blacks and minorities. Oh, Jill Scott said the land of the free but home of the slave, where colored kids die. I'm just saying. Jill Scott up there singing about how bad black folk got it at the Essence Awards. Well, the Essence magazine was a place black folk used to go and read, talking about makeup and style. Ain't nobody sitting in the Essence Award, ain't no one sitting there in the Essence Award making less than $500,000. Ain't nobody for the Essence Awards working as a plumber or HVAC. Ain't nobody there like that. Ain't nobody working at the Essence Awards that was at the Essence Award a teacher. Ain't no one there that was at the Essence Award a principal. Ain't no one at the Essence Award a bus driver. Ain't no one at the Essence Award a taxi or a Lyft. These are black millionaires, black stars, and she doing that rendition. But hold up now. Let's see who it was. Now, could he be lying about who it was? I'm going to ask y'all right now. This black police chief, he said it was somebody black with a gold grill. Do that sound like a black conservative? Come on now. Is that a black conservative? Is that one of them coons? One of them house Negroes? One of them bootlicking for the white man? As you black folk like to call, or as you black folk like to say, is it one of them folk that's bootlicking for white folks? Is it one of those people that's bootlicking for white folks? Cooning for the white man? He cooning for the white man. White folks love him. Let's hear it one more time. Huh? Is it one of them black kings? Is it one of them black kings we keep hearing about? Black kings and queens?
We're here, and we will continue to be here. What we have now for suspect, the subject is a black male that we know right now. Black male, and that's the extent of it. He has had a grill in his mouth, a gold grill. We do have some leads. We'll get that information out to you guys a little bit later. But I have to stress again, our officers were on scene, and they responded immediately. In fact, they were the first ones to call our dispatch center and let them know what's going on and call for EMS. And in the process of waiting for EMS to respond, the response was extremely quick. Our officers rendered first aid to all these victims.
Right.
Hearts go out to the victims, but we are going to continue to work extremely hard to try to find this individual. And again, we have some information that we will be sharing. Right now, I'm going to have Commander Tucker come out. He's going to get into some of the particulars as well.
How's everyone doing? So as the chief said, we had several officers that were in the area. After the shooting, they responded to the gunfire and they rendered aid. They did a fantastic job. I also like to thank the Sheriff's Office.
Is a moron. M-O-E-R-O-N. Moron.
The Sheriff's Office was in here within about a minute of this happening. And them getting here and helping with the crime scene and the evidence.
Does anybody keep noticing these police officers keep saying, we did a good job. Yeah, we did. We did a good job. Yeah, we did a good job. Huh? You did a good job? Hold up. You saying you did a good job? May I ask you your definition of a good job? If you don't mind, will you please explain to me your definition of a good job? Now, I want y'all to listen to this. Does this sound familiar?
There was also significant improvement.
I still think that we did a great job overall. You can't say that to the people who lost their lives, that we did a great job, but the effort was there.
Police say between Friday morning and Tuesday night, 57 people were shot in Chicago. That's compared to 91 last 4th of July weekend, and 9 were murdered compared to 19 last year.
Now, I'm going to ask y'all a question. I did not graduate from college. I'm going to be honest. I did not graduate from college. Everybody on Mind of Jamal Live, Miss Debbie Nelson, Lisa Pretty, Ram Tracks, Chris Palin. I did not graduate from college, okay? But am I missing the definition of a good job? Am I missing something here? Am I missing something about the definition of a good job? I know, yes, I graduated from trade school, but am I missing the idea of what's a good job? 'Cause I'm sorry. When you people shot all around you and your police officers are standing right there and somebody say, I'm going to go out here and start lighting off a gun, obviously people don't respect your police or they don't have a fear that your police will do something. Am I the only one missing the definition of a good job? Am I missing something? Will y'all please let me know? I'm looking over here. I'm looking over here. Okay, Lisa Purdy said they got it twisted. Joyce Decker said if one person died, it's not a good job. Chris Palin says, well, I went to cooking school, Jamal. Miss Maura Moosing says no. Let me come over here to Carolina Republicans. One person killed is too much. Good job in their dreams. That's what Miss Linda Andrews said. Now, black over here, black Southerner, good job at drawing a chalk line afterwards. Riri, he said a good job. I be saying to them, what you smoking? People ended up dead. Okay. Okay, Miss Kimberly Ashcroft, she graduated from college. She's a member over there on Minor Jamal. She says, I graduated from college, but I must be missing it too. Now, let me come over here to my Rumble Rebels. I don't know if I'll be able to say it, but that is it. No respect for the police. That is right. Doing 50% better is not a good job when it comes to stopping murders. Okay. At drawing a chalk line. Okay. Maybe I'm the only. Let me come over here to unapologetic conservative Republican. I guess this police chief isn't going to use the N-word, huh? And so, okay, so I'm not the only one who says that's not a good job. Jim Hayes says, I took a free drawing class outline and I know what a good job is. Okay, so maybe I'm not the only one who says y'all don't need to be saying your officers did a good job because the guy got away. I'm just saying.
Really helped my officers render aid to the victims of the gunshots. So, is there anything else that you have? Any other questions?
Yeah, we'll take a few questions. If you guys have any.
In regards to the suspect, was the suspect attending the bars? Did the suspect just arrive on scene, open fire, and leave?
The information we have right now, we're not sure. We're not sure what happened. We have no information, at least right now, from our investigators, that there was any type of issues or concerns or trouble. Right now, that may change, but right now we have no indication that there was anything taking place before this individual started shooting.
I have a question for the mayor. Certainly, violence citywide is up, crime is up citywide. Why has there not been more urgency on your part to hire more officers?
Every day we have urgency to invest in our police to make sure we have enough cops to keep our community safe and secure. And
Liar!
over the next couple of days, there'll be a major announcement on additional investments coming to support having more men and women in our police department.
Why is it taking so long?
I have to add in on that one, if the mayor don't mind. This was not an issue of not having enough officers. I want to make sure that's clear. This was not an issue of having more officers. We had officers here in uniform taking care of business here, which is taking care of the folks that are down here enjoying themselves. So it's not a matter of that. Of course, we want more officers, no question about it. But today, last night, was not a matter of having enough officers. I just want to stress that.
Right.
Big picture. Next question. Next question.
Do you have an update on the victims' conditions and the severity of their conditions?
As far as we know, last night we were updated that all the victims suffered.
Hey, it's Carl from Family Matters. Isn't that Carl? Isn't that Carl from Family Matters? Hey, it's Carl from Family Matters. Where's Steve Urkel at? Then I do that. Isn't that Carl? Carl from Family Matters. But they did a good job. Ooh, they did a great job.
Non-life-threatening injuries except one male who was serious. So all the injuries were minor except one serious.
Are there any cameras here that caught the shooting, the capture at all?
It's still under investigation. We're going to look at every building around here. As you look around, you can see there are cameras. We're looking at those. There are cameras on Public Square. There's cameras on just about all these buildings. So our investigators are talking with the owners so we can get as much information as possible. If we capture any images, we'll get that out to you.
What is this city doing to stop this violence from happening?
It's a combination of a lot of things. We have our partnership, as the commander just mentioned, with the Sheriff Department, with the FBI, with the DEA, ATF, and I can go on and go on and go on. As a matter of fact, I just had a conversation with the FBI Special Agent in charge, and also I had a conversation with Chief Elliott, with Marshall. We're coming up with a game plan. We already worked with them. We're coming up with a specific game plan to deal with some of these things. But please don't lose this. It's important to understand. We can add 2,000 more officers. But what happened last night with what transpired? We can add 2,000 more officers. It's more than that. It's what society needs to do. I believe there's just an over-reliance on the police officers. We're going to do our job, and I think we do a relatively good job. Actually, not a relatively good job. We do a good job.
Right.
This isn't bad policy. This is nuts.
Officers do a tremendous job. We ask a lot of our officers, but it's going to take more. It takes what we're trying to do now with Mayor Bibb's administration, which is to have a holistic approach, economic development, prevention, intervention, opportunities. Those are the type of things I think will help turn things around. But it's important to note that we cannot change human behavior. That's a different story. We in the police department, not just here in Cleveland, but all over the United States, we're dealing with the symptoms. Is what we're dealing with. But we're going to do our very best, and I think we're doing a good job to hold those responsible for committing these heinous acts. We're going to find that individual and hold them accountable.
Is a moron. M-O-E-R-O-N. Moron.
Oh, and you know it's the Republicans' fault. Let him get up here and blame the Republicans. Hold up.
In addition to what Chief Drummond said, we're going to continue to make additional investments in police and law enforcement and be as aggressive as we can to cut down on gang activity, cut down on drug activity, and get as many illegal guns off our street. Also, through the collaboration with City Council, for the first time ever, we passed a $10 million neighborhood safety endowment fund to make sure over the long run we are investing in the proven interventions that we know that can reduce violent crime.
Right.
But tackling violent crime is a multi-pronged approach, not just law enforcement, not just the investments we're making in neighborhoods, but we need better legislation, at the state and federal level.
R-O-N, moron, is a moron. M-O-E-R-O-N, moron.
Get illegal guns off our streets. It makes no sense that I, as mayor, and Councilman McCormick and I can't pass one piece of legislation in Cleveland around gun reform.
Easy, you moron, because that's the Second Amendment. And they're not going to allow you to strip people. Okay. I'm trying. It's after 12 o'clock, so it's 1 o'clock. Okay, it's 12 o'clock. It is Monday officially.
Nigga, please. Nigga, please.
Not one. Because the legislature has taken the power away from mayors to keep our community safe. And so that's why.
Nigga, please.
It's important for the public to know this is a multi-pronged approach. And lawmakers in Columbus and lawmakers in D.C., particularly Republicans, have to work with us to address this issue on the short and long-term basis.
But Mayor, you're
Black folk clearly in politics and political power don't understand the Second Amendment. You right, Cleveland, you can't pass gun legislation. You are a city. You cannot pass a gun ordinance. You can't do that. That's not your job. People have elected officials. People have elected officials. And they voted in the state of Ohio that you're not going to be doing that. You are not going to be coming over and PayPal only accepted. Okay, hold up. PayPal only. Let me see. Hold up. Paula White. Okay, Lisa. I tried to send PayPal only accepted. Tried to send you a super chat. Your people only accept correction needed. No, Paula, you can't do a super chat through Mind of Jamal Live. You have to do it through Mind of Jamal Black Southerner. Okay, if you go to Mind of Jamal Black Southerner, it's two different ones. Matter of fact, I'll do this for you so you can. Mind of Jamal Live. Mind of Jamal Black Southerner. This is the one where you can send the super chat through. Yeah, Mind of Jamal Live is you can't do super chat through Mind of Jamal Live, but you can do super chat through Mind of Jamal Black Southerner. Or you can use PayPal or Cash App if you don't want to do the super chat. But yeah, that's great. But if you want to do the super chat, you can do Mind of Jamal Black Southern or PayPal or super chat or Cash App. This man don't get it. Black folk are useful idiots in politics, especially black Democrats, young black men. No, you cannot. No, you cannot decide in your city to restrict people gun rights. That's not your job. That is the state legislator. And then the state legislator have only a certain amount they can go. And this idiot don't understand that. And guess what? The majority of the people in the state want you to keep your city in line by locking them up. They want you to get rid of that progressive district attorney because this young black boy with the gold grills who shot up downtown Cleveland, they don't fear the police no more because of black supremacy. And oh yeah, it won't just there. It was in New York too. New York, same thing. I can't show it all because of the violent nature, but this is New York.
Now to our other top story. Just a short time ago, New York City police transferred the man accused of going on a deadly shooting spree in Queens and Brooklyn. 25-year-old Thomas Abreu is facing several charges, including murder, attempted murder, and criminal possession of a weapon. Police say he was driving around on a scooter yesterday, randomly firing shots, killing an 86-year-old man and wounding 3 others. Eyewitness News reporter Kimberly Richardson spoke exclusively with one of those victims. She's live this evening at the 107 precinct in Fresh Meadows, Queens. Kimberly?
Well, Sandra, every weekend, Cesar Martinez calls his grandmother and asks what's for breakfast. The 21-year-old then walks to her house. It's something they both cherish and look forward to. But yesterday, Anna tells me she knew something was wrong. What she didn't know, Cesar has been shot. The pair is only talking to Eyewitness News.
I just remember waking up in the pool of blood and people around me. Then it blacked out again.
I can show y'all the rest of that on Rumble. I can't show you on Facebook and YouTube. Because they will flag me, and if they flag me, they will say it's inappropriate, and they'll make it hard for your disperse to be. So that's why Murphy. Oh, okay. That's why I'm not playing the video, but there you go. All those shootings. All those shootings. And black guy, maybe it's black supremacy, maybe it's white supremacy. Excuse me. Maybe it's white supremacy. Maybe it's people because they were treated because of slavery. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe it's the community. Maybe the culture in the community, in the black community, is so filled with rot that this is the stuff you're getting. And you know what's funny? I'm going to go on and say it. When somebody black write me and tell me they going to do this to me, if they catch me, they going to make sure they blow my ball, blow my brains, blah, blah, blah. So thank you for proving my point. Black folk in the black community and black culture is violence. The current day black culture is violence, depravity, and immorality. That's the current day black culture. That's current day black culture. You always want to assault somebody who's speaking on his show, his platform that you don't like. So when I catch you, I'm gonna blah, blah, blah. Really? That's just like a nigga, an ignorant, and a race hustler. All three. 1, 2, and 3 are the majority of the black community. Cleveland. It's the guns, the Republicans' legislature. No. You know what? I got to talk about that, Ed. You talking about the guy who was an Afghan interpreter, survived war, survived all that, but got killed in Washington, D.C. Oh, yeah, that's one of the things I want to talk about tonight. But I can't stay up too late because it's Monday and everybody go to work. For those who had a short week last week from 4th of July week. But I want you to realize that this is the crap that's going on. I'm going to play some of President Trump and what he was saying about Russia and Ukraine, which they're mad at him over as usual. Russia has told Brinks, which is the new currency, they're off the dollar. They're on gold. They are totally off the dollar. The American dollar is about to crash. People like the Democrat Party use the American dollar as a weapon against people, to bully people. They should have never allowed them. They should have never started putting sanctions on people unless they had the world do it. And let the world tell America, the UN or whatever, don't let them get money. When we unilaterally start putting sanctions on people, people like screw the dollar. And now they are off the dollar. Yes, Russia is off the dollar. Everything is rubles in Russia. They trade in rubles. If you're going to buy oil, you have to go to the Russian bank and buy rubles. Well, the rubles ain't worth more than $1. That's true. The rubles ain't worth more than $1. However, the ruble, by putting it up there, then the Brinks oil money, the oil voucher, or whatever the currency, if people don't buy U.S. notes, we're diminished as a superpower. The Democrat Party has destroyed America. But they worried about reparations and the feelings of black folk and the people who are destroying this nation.
True. And I promise you this, if you put me back in the White House, and Iowa and Nebraska, you're very important states, their reign will be over and America will be a free nation once again. We're not a free nation. We don't have free press. We have a crooked press. We have a corrupt media. No, think of it. They have absolute proof that Biden's being paid off by China, Ukraine, and many other countries. And the press doesn't even write about it. That would have been 10 years ago. That would have been the biggest story in history. It's 100 times bigger than Watergate. That would have been the biggest, and they don't even put it on the news. They don't. You look, if there's anything, they feel guilty because they have the biggest story in history, and they are cowards. They're corrupt. Or maybe they're afraid. I don't know. But if you see something, it's always way in the back, a little tight. This way they say, well, no, we discuss. We have a president of the United States who's a stone-cold, corrupt thief. And who's willing to arrest his opponent, who's leading him substantially in the polls. And then they go out and they say, oh, no, we really want to run against him. If they want to run against me, they wouldn't be indicting me. They'd say, I hope this guy goes, they'd say, make it nice and smooth. No, because We're leading by a lot, and we're going to win because we have no choice. If we don't win this election, we're not going to have a country. We're not going to have a country. There's going to be nothing left, and we can't let that happen. Just think of what we have already achieved in our 4 incredible years. We delivered the largest tax cuts and regulatory cuts in the history. These are the biggest cuts in the history of our country. And likewise, we built the greatest economy in the history of the world. We had it going just before COVID came in. Nobody had ever seen numbers. African American, Asian American, Hispanic American, women, men, people with diplomas, people without diplomas, people #1 at MIT, and people that could barely get a job before. Everybody was working and everybody was happy. And even very, very far left people were coming up to me and saying, let's get together. The country was coming together. It was amazing. And then we had COVID. We had to go through a different thing. And then even then, we handed over. We did an amazing job, got not nearly enough credit for the job we did. We were making ventilators for all the nations of the world. Within about 3 months, we were all geared up and took car plants and changed them into ventilator plants. It was, nobody's ever seen anything like it. And we gave you a stock market that was higher than just before COVID came in. I mean, think of it. And then it's a series of horrible mistakes. They closed down our energy industry, essentially. They want wind. They want wind. Everything's fine. They want wind. They want all sorts of things. They want the Green New Deal. You know who came up with the Green New Deal? A poor student who has a good line of bullshit, who came up and said, she said, the Green New Deal. Nobody knew what the hell she was talking about. It's mostly fake stuff. And we're spending trillions and trillions of dollars of ruining our country. The oceans will rise over the next 3 years by 1/8 of an inch. But they're not worried about a country that's 600 miles away that's loaded up with nuclear weapons. That's not a risk. But the ocean's rising over the next 300 years. That's a risk. Creates more beachfront property, actually. That's the way you have to view it. So we have people that are just, what they're doing is so horrible. What's so horrible? And I'm a big environmentalist. I am truly an environmentalist. I want clean air. I want clean water. I want great fuel standards. I want great everything. But they're destroying our country. And if you look at China, they're building coal plants all over China. While we look at hoping the wind blows, okay? Hoping it blows. Darling, darling, I'd like to watch our president on television tonight. I'm sorry, we have no energy. The wind isn't blowing. We created the most secure border in U.S. history, built nearly 500 miles of border wall, got Mexico to give us 28,000 soldiers free of charge. Thank you. And then we negotiated remain in Mexico with Mexico. You think that was easy? Mr. President, we want to have everybody remain in Mexico. You think he said, oh, that would be lovely? No. Because these are rough people that were coming into our country and are coming in at numbers that nobody will believe. I believe the real number by the end of the year could be 15 million people. You don't hear that number. That's bigger than New York State. Ended the ridiculous catch and release program. That's where you catch somebody and release them into our country and tell them to come back in 4 years for a trial. Nobody ever comes back.
Lord help us. We need that. We need Donald Trump. We need Donald Trump.
Help. You've got mail.
All right, it is time. I know I was supposed to get to the phones. I know I'm supposed to get to the phone. I know I'm supposed to get to the phones, y'all, but I couldn't. I could not get to the phone. I could not. This is one of those nights. Rush Limbaugh, Rush used to do it, and no, I'm not going to start. Jamal, I know that means you're not going to start. You're not going to answer phones. I don't listen, okay? I couldn't get to the phones tonight. I will make it up tomorrow, okay? I will try my best. See, had my little clock ready. I will try my best to make it up tomorrow. Okay? I will try to make it up tomorrow. Lord willing, live and see it, because it's not promised. Okay? But we do have to go over to Rumble, because I want to talk about that shooting in New York. And yeah, I'm going to talk about the shooting in New York. And tomorrow, Lord willing, we live and see it, we're going to do the couple a little bit more things. Now, first message from tonight, James. James says, "Hey Jamal, on the war, I want to know what you think about the final outcome when the Ukraine war is over. I know you're for Russia using nukes. Yeah, I really wish Russia would give Ukraine some of that Hiroshima Nagasaki action and end this crap. Do you see either side using them at some point in this war?" Well, Ukraine don't have nuclear weapons. And if they got nuclear weapons, that's going to cause a world war. If Ukraine launches and does a nuclear weapon, that means they got them from NATO. If Ukraine threatens Russia and says, if Russia launches a nuclear attack, we will retaliate with nuclear weapons, it's over. Russia's going to nuke them off the earth. See, here is the thing. When you get nuclear missiles, you are the big dog on the block. There are a bunch of big dogs. But if we and NATO are giving Ukraine these weapons and putting them on Russia's border, Russia got every right to blow them off the map. China is about to put a base in Cuba, and it's going to have nuclear weapons. Joe Biden is not John F. Kennedy. And I hate to say, we don't have the military to fight off China. What we keep relying on is technology. Technology can only get you so far. Technology is not in the trenches. Technology is not when your tank get blown up and you got to get out of that tank and fight. See, for those of us who've been in the military, that's why our basic training was like it was, because at the end of the day, one of the things we learned, if your Abrams tank is disabled, if your Hummer is disabled, you got to be able to defeat that enemy soldier to soldier. And our U.S. citizens today cannot defeat Russians or Chinese soldier to soldier. The people who made up our military, white men, have been disenfranchised, have been attacked, have been belittled and demonized so much. The backbone of the military, which is young white men, don't want to join the military. That's why you have so many young white men becoming trans, because they want to be accepted, because they have been torn down, they have been beaten up, they have been belittled, bullied, made to feel like they're nothing. That's why so many young white men are part of the trans, are transing like they are. That's why. We are weak now. We are weak now. We have forced this crap. We have forced this crap of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and we've destroyed our military. America is going to have to rebuild for 20 years. We need to create another generation, and you know what? People are scared. So can America come back? No, because there's too many liberals and feminists in positions and too many scared white men to bring anything back. Now, if white men was to start pushing back, start demanding stuff, yeah, you will see it stop. But not here. All right, let's see what we have. Next message, next letter. Mr. Larson. Mr. Larson says, sorry for the size. Sorry for the shirt doesn't fit you. Jamal, European sizes must run smaller than American sizes. Unbutton the buttons. It still be too small, but it should at least be a little more comfortable for you when you wear it. It sure does look good, though. God's richest blessings to you and your family. Well, I thank you, Mr. Larson, for the shirt. I was just joshing and joking around with you. Yeah, it is. Okay, it is tight. I ain't gonna lie. But I like the shirt. I do. I like this symbol right here. The cross is in front of the American flag, not the cross behind the American flag. The cross is in front of the American flag because, truth be told, to be good Americans, this cross must stand up. And the only way to save America is this cross have to stand up. We are thankful that Muslims are standing up in America. Muslims are actually standing up in America and pushing back against the LGBTQ community. Muslims in America are standing up and pushing back against the LGBTQ EIFG community. Muslims are. And they're doing a good job. They're not backing down. They're sick of it. White liberals don't like it. And what they're trying to bring up now, well, I remember after 9/11, y'all was saying about Muslims. Yeah, we had just got attacked. We had just got hit. America's always done that. When we was bombed at Pearl Harbor, we said Japs. We went after Japanese. World War I, we went after Germans. Mexican-American War, we went after Mexicans. But any Muslim that says Allah, country, Allah, family, country, meaning God, his family, and the U.S., we love them. If a Muslim woman is wearing a American hijab, we don't say nothing. That's your culture. If a Muslim only thing Americans have a problem with is burqas, covering the face. Most Americans have that problem because we feel that she is doing that against her will. That's doing against her will. However, when a Muslim woman says, no, I wear this because this is my culture and I choose to, you know what people do? They back off. You know what people do when they have Muslim friends? They try their best to make sure they're kind and very they treat their Muslim friends like they would a Christian, Jehovah Witness, or Latter-day Saints. Some people call them Mormons. If you know for a fact your Muslim friend is coming over, if Ahmed is coming over, and you know Ahmed love America, Ahmed tell you, hey, I ain't trying to go back to Iran or Iraq. You know what you do? If you're grilling out, you'll say, hey, Ahmed, don't eat on that side. That side had pork. This is the side I cook for you for non-pork. You know what Ahmed says to you? Thank you. Ahmed says, thank you. Even if you make a mistake, when Muslims see you trying to do right or trying to understand their culture, they'll help you. Perfect example, a guy I worked with, he was Muslim. Well, I worked with him, he was a Muslim. You know what I did? I tried to get him something, and I told him, say, hey man, I made sure I told him if they can't mind, please clean the grill on this area. You know, you're Muslim. He said, hey Jamal, sir, this is only steak. Jamal, because you know I was, we only cook steaks on this side, our meat, no bacon. And then the guy's like, don't worry about it. And then he explained to me about how he eats certain stuff. So yes. But Muslims are standing up. Christians need to stand up as well to get America back on track. Because I'm going to tell you something. We got a bad habit of hiding behind, especially conservatives. We like to hide behind people instead of take the lead. And it's not fair. All right, that was James and that was Pete. Oh, here's somebody else. Big A.L. Taylor. Bro, just discovered your page this weekend. I'm with you 100%. Help me start a chapter in Louisiana, bro. I just ordered my equipment to start my podcast. Can you tutor me? Yeah, I could, but I work. But here's the thing. You want to get your own page and establish who you are. When about this, I started, anybody who remember me, I started, I call in the show, I do it all the time, the KCO Day Show, the KCO Morning Show here in Raleigh, Durham. It's the KCO Day Show. And I called in. Ross, the guy who's the producer, he says, hey, why don't you do your own videos? And I started doing videos with a phone, just, looking at a phone and just doing it. Then the night Donald Trump won the presidency, I was streaming on Facebook. And I went from 1,000 or 1,500 people to 25,000 people in one day. $25,000 people in one day. And then my page kept growing and growing and growing. I would take my phone, put it on a stick, do a video. Then people said do live stream. I did live stream. I started doing live. After work, I would be talking on the truck to people. Then people said, Jamal, you ought to do YouTube. And I did both. And I started with 2 cell phones. Anybody remember me? No, I used to have 1 cell phone. One night I would do Facebook. The other night I would do YouTube.